This video covers changing the primary case fluid on a Harley Davidson. And while we're in there, we're also going to show you how to adjust your primary drive chain tension as well. Keep in mind this step won't apply to the newer bikes that are equipped with the automatic chain tensioner, but as far as changing the primary case fluid, following steps will apply to all Harley Davidson models except for the Sportsters. Today we're working on a 1996 Harley Davidson Softail Fat Boy, and you'll see we've got it up on a lift to make the process a little easier. And to perform this job correctly, the bike needs to be standing straight up and down so all the oil can flow out, and then you can replace it with the recommended amount of fluid. You'll want to have your service manual handy for specs and procedures specific to your bike. We'll begin by removing the derby cover. This bike's got 3 bolts, others may have 5. Go ahead and pop that cover and the gasket off, and then we'll move down to the drain plug. We're going to use a T40 Torx wrench to remove this drain plug. Other bikes might have a 5/8 bolt for the drain plug. It's a good idea to have the motor at operating temperature to help the oil flow out a little easier and to pull any contaminants with it as it flows out. While we've got that draining, we'll go ahead and clean up our drain plug and wipe any debris off that the magnetic tip may have picked up. We're also going to wrap the clean threads with a little teflon tape to ensure a good seal. If your Harley is equipped with a bolt style drain plug, it's a good idea to inspect the sealing O-ring and replace it if necessary. So with the oil draining, we can move on to adjusting our primary chain free play. So we'll go ahead and remove the 4 bolts holding on the primary chain inspection cover. These are a Torx 27, same as the derby cover bolts. When you pull that cover, it's going to reveal the chain adjuster. You'll want to refer to your service manual for primary chain specifications for your bike. Our bike calls for 5/8 to 7/8 of an inch of free play when the motor's cold, and 3/8 to 5/8 when the motor's warm. We're going to be using a ruler to measure the free play in this chain. You want to measure this on the top portion of the chain, about midway between the sprockets. So we'll place the ruler up onto the chain resting on one of the link pins. You want to hold the ruler close to the outer case and make a reference point on the case to use when measuring the free play. We're going to use this edge as a reference point, making the 3 our 0 mark or starting point. As we push the chain up, we'll count the distance in 1/8 of an inch. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8, which is within spec. If your chain did require adjustment, all you do is take a 9/16 socket to loosen the adjuster nut, and doing that allows you to slide the chain adjuster up or down. You use the teeth on the back side of the adjuster and the teeth on the adjuster plate mounted to the primary case to get the desired tension for the chain. Once you have it in the desired location, simply retighten the adjuster bolt to lock the adjuster in position while you recheck your free play. When you have the chain adjusted correctly, you'll want to torque the adjuster nut to the specified torque setting in your service manual. Ours calls for 25 foot-pounds. Now we can move back down to the drain bolt, move that oil pan out of the way, wipe off any excess oil. Then we can go ahead and thread that drain bolt back up into the case. You're going to want to thread it in until only a couple threads are sticking out. Now we're ready to add oil into the primary. This just goes in through the clutch inspection opening. The amount's going to vary with each bike, so you want to check your service manual. Ours calls for 30 to 36 ounces, so we'll go ahead and add this quart and then check our fluid level. You want the fluid to be sitting right above the bottom of the clutch pack. As you can see, this is sitting at the correct height. So we can reinstall both the chain inspection cover and the derby cover. Once you have all those bolts in place, you need to torque them down. Our manual calls for 84 to 120 inch-pounds, so we're going to go ahead and torque each of these to 95 inch-pounds, and then we're done. If you have any questions about adjusting your primary chain or changing the primary case oil on your bike, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-336-5437. Rocky Mountain ATV MC carries all the parts, accessories, and apparel to keep you and your bike rolling. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the road.